really feels great, and that's because we are about a week out from Gilda's Club LaughFest. Joining us in studio this morning to talk all about it is Wendy Wigger with the festival here. We are so excited that LaughFest is here.
And hopefully we're going to give people something to smile and laugh about, because in the middle of March, like you said, you need something like that on those cloudy days.
You definitely do. So let's chat about the festival. You know, if I am not a person that grew up here, or I don't know anything about Gilda's Club or LaughFest, what can we expect at this year's LaughFest?
Well, believe it or not, this is hard to believe. It is our 15th year of the festival. So we launched the first festival back in 2011 when yellow smiles started popping up all around town. People were wondering what's up with this. And later on they found out that the organization that was behind the initiative. And so this year it's March 5 through 9. We have over 45 different activities and events for folks, all ages, all types of laughter in all different forms, and both ticketed and free events.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
For 15 years, you guys have been putting on this event.
Time.
What is really the purpose behind it?
Well, there is a serious behind the funny, and that's where our tagline, Seriously Funny, fits in. We knew back in 2011 that we wanted to do something for the community that would bring a little bit about who we are and what we do out there, because we are an organization not many people want to think about, because who wants to think about a mission of cancer or grief?
Right.
Sure.
We provide that emotional health support for anyone connected on a cancer journey, directly or indirectly, or anyone experiencing grief due to the death of any cause, not just cancer related.
Okay.
And our namesake, Gilda Radner, Saturday Night Live comedian, you know, she found herself on a cancer journey and spoke in her book, It's Always Something, about losing her funny and her laughter. But when she found this community of support, she began to find that smile back, and she said, cancer's so unfunny, it needed somebody like me to give people permission to laugh. So we wanted to honor our namesake, we wanted to create visibility of who we are and what we do, and we knew if we could get people to laugh, we could get them to listen. And so we wanted to get our mission out there, and of course, we need to raise funds. We're a nonprofit, and all the proceeds from the festival and from our High Five campaign, with Meyer doing a match of every $5 that's donated or more, matching that, helps to keep our free program free.
Wow.
That's awesome. And I don't think many people realize that what this service goes to provide, because you guys are there every step of the way for some of those patients. Can you dive a little bit deeper into what you guys provide for those folks that you help out?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we have both a physical clubhouse on Bridge Street. We also have a program that we have out in Lowell, but we also have virtual programming. We're in the community. A lot of people are not aware that we have an in-schools program as well that really helps kids to be able to talk about and learn healthy ways of dealing with tough chapters in their life, like cancer and grief, but not just that, it could be anything. And then some community-involved programs and services as well. I would say about over 200 to 250 different activities and events on a monthly basis, all of that offered free of charge. Everything from professionally led support groups for people that maybe they're dealing with the cancer or connected to someone with cancer or with grief. But we also have yoga, Pilates, free meals in the evenings. We have a ukuleles class. We have the Knitwits, which are a group of people that knit.
Love it. I think that's hilarious.
It's kind of a fun name.
Yeah.
We have watercolors. We have so many different activities. And then also for youth, because it's all ages. All of us, and somebody is diagnosed with cancer, it doesn't impact just that person, but it impacts all of their network of friends and family.
Yeah.
So we're there for everyone.
That's so nice to have that support system, not only, you know, friends and family that are along with the journey of that person, but it's nice to know there's a safety net right there with you guys in there.
Absolutely, and you guys really are just the sunshine to a dark time and dark chapter in people's lives. Now, LaughFest itself, you said March 5th through the 9th. What can people expect? What are some of the headliners? What's different this year?
Yeah, well, boy, those are a lot of questions.
Sorry,
we gave you a lot there.
There's a lot of great. I love LaughFest in the talent piece, which is usually the ticketed, in some cases, of the talent that we're bringing into the community. So you've got Adam Ray, Dan Soder, you've got Gabby Bryan, you've got the clean comedy lineup. You have some great folks that are going to be participating in that. And then I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Preacher Lawson is coming March 19, which is our gala. So that's a little bit outside of that, March 5 through 9, but definitely worth waiting for and buying a ticket. It's a little bit higher price, but it's also a greater donation to Gilda's Club in that regard.
Sure.
So great talent. Something new. This one isn't new, but it's still something to highlight. It's the Cancer Showcase, where people that have been on a cancer journey, it's the Cancer Comedy Showcase. That's a free event at Midtown. It is, you know, people say, what's so funny about cancer? Nothing in many ways, but in some ways you have about an ability to be able to look through life through a different lens and share some of your stories. Kids Day is an awesome day at Gilda's Club. We've got drumming with Josh. We have family improv. We've got Kids Joke, one of my favorites, to hear these little kiddos tell their joke. And then we have the Gospel Fest, and it's going to be a combination of comedy, singing, praise, and that's going to be embedded into the festival, and that's a free event. So Comedy Project, Pop Scholars, River City Improv, some local talent that people are aware of. They've got some shows, but also those ticketed shows and so much more.
Yeah, Wendy, I want to ask you, you guys have been around for 15 years for this event, right?
Yes.
How has it changed from 2011 to now?
Well, we did do a little reset with that thing called the pandemic in 2020.
Yes,
we had 2 years. Yeah, we had 2 years of a virtual festival, which was really bold and interesting.
Yeah.
But it also allowed us, coming out of that, to do a reset, because believe it or not, in 2020 we used to start out as a 10-day festival, Tanner.
Okay.
We in 2020 realized that was also a challenge and a risk, because in the second weekend of the festival came this thing called COVID.
Yeah.
We had to cancel the second weekend. Jeff Foxworthy was coming in. We had 850 plus meals that we had to repurpose. We were able to donate those to Dégagé Ministry and Mel Trotter. But it was also one of those like, whew.
Yeah.
That meant a disruption to the festival. Coming out of the festival, we reset the recipe to 5 days.
Okay.
And it's been a really good way. And I think, from 2011, I know this might sound a little chest pounding, but I think we helped West Michigan find its funny bone, right?
I love
and
that.
Since 2011 to today, now you can get comedy just about every week of the year in this community. So we try to focus on 5 days where we can format something for everyone. We don't all laugh at the same things, but we know we all do laugh.
Yes.
And so that's a little bit of the change there. We really did try to create a guideline as well.
Yeah.
For what people can help navigate, what do they think is funny? Because it is different for everyone.
We were chatting about this earlier, and I actually just put this graphic in. If we can take A8, there's a graphic there. On the right side is the roadmap that you were kind of chatting about, right? And this is in that program that you're holding right now.
Yes.
So explain this to us.
Yeah, well, ATG is anything goes, which is exactly that. So just be prepared, buckle up, because it could include anything, including what's called the Dirty Show, which is exactly as it's described. Yet some of these other artists,
some people love that type of comedy.
I like that it's in black too. Like, look,
listen. Big bold letter right there.
That is
ATG.
true. Now, clean, don't let that surprise you, because what that means is it's clean adult. There's still adult content. I wouldn't bring my young children to that.
Sure.
But there won't be the vulgarity or the profanity. And then family friendly is obviously family friendly, and most of the things that are family friendly.
Pink fam there.
Yep, those are generally free events as well, and that's going to be a lot of fun there. Some events do require you to be 21 plus just because of where they're located in that venue. That's a requirement with the serving and what they're doing. But that's as simple as it gets. I really encourage people to do their homework, because you don't want to walk into something where you're like, ew, that wasn't really a fit for me.
Yes.
But there's, again, it's an opportunity to be able to take in laughter in all of its forms. It's not just the stand-up. It is so many different ways that we can celebrate and embrace that emotion.
Absolutely, and going back towards such a good cause as well. If you had to say there was like one standout event that you would really encourage people to go to, what would it be for you, at least?
Oh my gosh, that is a really tug.
I feel like it's like a loaded question, right?
Yeah, that's a tug on my heart. I really would struggle with that one, because there's so many good things, and it just depends on what people like.
Yeah.
I know for me, I'm going to be working the family-friendly event, and I love to see families come out and think, well, what is this drumming with Josh all about? And everybody can participate. Doesn't matter what their abilities are, their talents are. it's really fun to see families come together and then to do the improv.
Yeah.
And kids joke is great. So that's always been something that I've really enjoyed. But there's not a piece of the festival that I don't find. And you know, even some of the shows that I might kind of go in and take 5 minutes in because I have to jump around to many venues. I love, this is going to sound strange, I love seeing the volunteers because this whole event would not be possible if it weren't for a good couple hundred volunteers that donate their time and talent to be part of the festival.
And of course, you're still looking for volunteers, right?
We are.
How do we sign up if we want to join?
Well, you can go to laughfestgr.org and there will be a place that'll say volunteers. We are getting pretty close to the festival, so we'd love to hear from you sooner rather than later.
Hopefully by Monday,
so that,
down.
so that we can plug you in. And if you have a group of people, sometimes people will come as a sorority or maybe as a church group or whatever the case is. We can plug you in as a group. Just be flexible because we'll have to put you in where we bet most need you. And if it's not right for you to fit in for the festival, know that Gilda's Club needs volunteers all year round. And there's so many different things for groups or individuals that we can put you. We can't offer what we do without the support of volunteers.
We are in the final days before we get to the LaughFest.
Yes.
Talk about setup. You know, what are these final days look like for the Gilda's Club as you guys are setting up for LaughFest? Is it busy? I'm sure it is.
It's exhausting.
Yeah.
But it's like it's running on adrenaline. I mean, just like what you were doing recently with your dance performance and the show that you had. You know, you put it in there, and all of a sudden, boom! All that practice and everything you put in there. And it's over before you believe you can even blink. So it's the same thing for the team. I mean, we have a team of people that help to put this festival together and some external folks that support us in terms of the production as well as helping to secure talent. And you run on adrenaline and afterwards you just stand back and you go, "Ma, what just happened?" And isn't that a beautiful thing that we were being able to help deliver to the community and be carried by the community, both the volunteers, the sponsors, great media partners like yourself. That really keeps us running all the way through. And I think the greatest thing is that people also know, while it's a fun time and a great time, and it's also for a great cause.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, leading up to the event, you have these headliners. How do you guys go about picking these big names?
And attracting them here,
and
right? I mean, this is a great event, but I mean, some people may not know what this is, right?
Yes, yeah. Well, what's interesting is that we do work with somebody that helps us to secure some of the talent. So we not only listen to what the community is telling us. For example, there's repeats. When you look at the program here, Clean Comedy Showcase is something that we've done again and again because people vote with their feet, right? They're buying tickets for it. Makes sense for us to continue to offer that as part of the lineup. And then the rest of the comedy is a combination of, you know, who's going to fit, who's available. I mean, when you're looking at trying to put a festival together and it's 5 days in the middle of March, some people will come and some people are like, no, thank you.
Well, it also probably depends on who's on tour at the time too, and if they can fit it in their schedule.
It is, and there is a cost. I think sometimes people think, well, gosh, how did you get so-and-so to come free to LaughFest? Well, they're lovely people and they don't. We have to pay for the talent and the production and all the venue and all the things that go into it. And it's from the proceeds from after all those expenses that we're able to then put that towards our free program. So there's a lot of interesting parts that come to it, but it's fun. And it's fun to be able to see the diversity of talent, the diversity of just the different people that come. And I think what's so wonderful, we've had comics say to us before, coming to West Michigan for LaughFest is like coming to a comedy camp because they don't always get a chance to see each other and be together.
Kind of like a comedy convention.
It is a comedy convention, and people are so impressed by the warm and welcoming response. I mean, when you have Gun Lake Casino Resort as a overarching partner, the sponsor of the festival, and then Meyer doing a match, Sharp Collection, we're picking up these comics from the Ford airport in these classy cars that are like beautifully logoed and stuff. They're like, this is for me? We don't get treated like this in every city. West Michigan really knows how to do it right. And I think that helps in getting some of the talent here because they talk to their comedic friends
Say,
and
hey,
talent.
you guys got to go to Grand Rapids.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's been great.
Well, let me ask you about the partnerships. You were kind of alluding to some of your corporate sponsorships that you guys have there and partnerships. What about just the local businesses downtown as a whole? Because I know that you guys host at the Bob. There are a couple of other venues that you guys host downtown at. What has that partnership been like to work with some of those partners who really help make this go off without a hitch?
Yeah, it is not possible without those partners, you know. So you've got everybody, like you said, it's the Bob, it's Mitten Brewery, it's Wealthy Theater, it's Gun Lake Casino Resort, it's out in Lowell. I mean, I know I'm missing some. Midtown is another great partner of ours at downtown. You know, all of those partners, and each of those venues is unique upon itself, and there's different artists that fit better in one venue than another. And so that's also part of the recipe, is being able to, you know, access and rent those venues and be able to bring the artists in there and give people a taste of it. And what I love about it is that so much of that is walkable. Yeah. So, you know, you can get down, park down somewhere down there, and or if you go to the casino, there's a lot of fun happening before and after that show.
True.
I was going to say Corey B's on there, and he is phenomenal. He is definitely selling tickets very fast, so that's going to be a good show too.
You know, I don't know if you can speak to this or not, but in terms of fundraising goals, do you guys have one for this year? Do you have previous numbers from the past years that go towards the nonprofit?
Yeah, well, for sure we want to exceed the high five goal. So Meyer puts up $20,000, and the high five, I didn't wear a button today, but we sell these really fun buttons for $5 or more. And then that sounds so small, but when you have $5 and it's being matched by Meyer, that makes up a lot. And so, you know, there's $40,000 that we could raise. Last year, I think it was more like about 50 that we hit, which is great. Some of our great community partners, they put up our Small Smiles. People can make a donation there. And then the proceeds from the festival as well. So it's a combination of all of that that really helps to fund the organization. It is one of our fundraisers, along with our West Side Walk and golf and some of these other initiatives. And it's definitely a very fun way for the community to get involved. And again, it's also a wonderful way for us to raise visibility of who we are and what we do, because there is that serious behind the funny.
Yeah, absolutely. Just one last question for you. Tickets, where do we get them? How can we go about getting them? Can we get them at the door? Are they online?
Yes.
Where are they
you
at?
Can go to laughfestgr.org. We also have our ticket day is a fee-free day, easy to say, right? This on Saturday at Gilda's Club from 10 until 2, so you can stop there and buy your tickets. And if tickets are still available, they'll be available also at Ticketmaster.
Okay.
And up to the show, we usually take them offline about 2 hours before the show, and if there's tickets still available, you can buy them at the door.
All right.
Nice.
And I was just looking at your website. We were scrolling through it on the screen there, and you can even donate if you can't make it out.
I know.
To
Thank you for
Gilda's
calling
Club
that
LaughFest.
out.
Yes, I saw the donate
Appreciate
button. All right. Well, Wendy, thank you so much for joining us.
Pleasure to have
You
you.
were wonderful this morning.
Yeah.
You're a little
Thank
ray of sunshine yourself.
Oh,
Next
I
week
appreciate it.
is when it all kicks off. Of course, 13 on Your Side will be covering it as it happens. Thank you so much. We'll be back after this break.